Before we start, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe underneath this video. We're about to start, so grab a drink as well as something to eat, and let's go! Alright, hello everyone, it's Happy, and today we're gonna have an in-depth look at the E3, and tell me what you want to see in my future videos in the comment section below. As usual, in this series, I split the video into three. First, the equipment, 2, the armor, and 3, gameplay and how to play this tank. So in terms of stats, I did 3,500 average damage for over 100 games and 78% win rate. I think this is a decent or good enough stat to be able to talk about this tank in more or less depth. So let's just start off with the equipment. I'm not going to waste your time. Let's do this very quickly. So gun rammer, to increase the DPM, of course. Some people duplicate calibrated shells to be able to have more HE penetration into the sides of mediums. I just feel more comfortable with gun rammer. Next, we have enhanced gun laying drive and vertical stabilizer because we play close range. We don't sit there in the back in a bush or something like that. We're frontline next to the heavy tanks. And then we have improved modules because we do have an accelerator and we do like to ram people. Next off, I used improved assembly because I just feel more comfortable with the HP. We still need to test whether enhanced armor works on the E3 or not. That's going to be in my future videos. So we have toolbox, of course, and enhanced tracks. Next we have improved optics. Everything else is standard. We play it like a heavy tank, without HP, of course. So as you can see, the provisions are standard as well, nothing insane here. And the consumables, we do have a special improved engine boost thingy, whatever it's called, and it does work very well, and we have one of those, adrenaline, and the standard things. So that's that for the equipment section, guys. Alright guys, now in terms of the armor profile, the E3 is probably one of the strongest armored tanks, at least frontally, in the whole game. As you can see, the lower plate may seem grey, however penetrating that thing is a real pain in the bum, and it is really, you know, up to RNG or to the random. So it does get pinned reliably into the sides. However, as you can see, under a slight angle, you can get pinned into the sides, and that is a big weak point on the E3. Even under a slight angle, it can be pinned. As you can see with gold, however, nothing really changes. You could try and shoot it into the hull, but it won't really work. Another secret on the E3 is, of course, the hatch. You can penetrate it sometimes with HE, but mostly I'd say just shoot it with AP to be more reliable, as you can see there. Now, in terms of gameplay, guys, this is a bunker. This is a strong, fat bunker, and nothing is going through, at least frontally. And the E3 mostly excels in battles which are prolonged. So long battles where you can shoot damage and rack up those, ricochets and non-penetrations. Because if it is a turbo game, if you are losing and you are being circled, you can do nothing. Once that engine boost or that super engine boost is gone, you are finished by the mediums and light tanks. You will be circled, you will be wrecked, you will be destroyed. So of course, the E3, again, as I said, excels in long battles. So try to go to the heavy side and smash those heavy tanks up, because that's the only thing the E3 can pretty much do. It can't fight medium tanks, it can't fight light tanks. Against TDs, its advantage of armor is also kind of gone in most situations, because TDs can actually pen the E3. The only tanks that can't pen the E3 are lights, mediums, and heavies, of course. Therefore, going to the heavy side makes sense. Again, going hull down also makes sense, because you have 8 degrees of gun depression, which is insane, and the lower plate, if it's hidden, of course, the enemy can't really do anything. Of course, there is the hatch, and it is also quite hard to pen, even with gold, so I wouldn't even recommend shooting there at all, pretty much. Of course, in terms of speed and maneuverability, the E3 kind of sucks. The engine boost does help a bit, but that's only at the start of the game or when you get it back. Until you get it back, you're a turtle, basically. That's basically how it is. Getting that top speed of 35 kilometers is again a pain in the complete bum. Of course, the gun isn't too bad. It is on the bad side, of course. The armor is the only thing that compensates for this tank. It has one of the worst DPMs on a TD, of course, at tier 10. And that makes sense. However, the alpha is big. Therefore, it's easy to peekaboo. And as you can see, the T95 couldn't do anything, by the way. So yeah, as I was saying, you can peekaboo and you can roll back. So doing damage isn't really hard. but I did only do 3,500. I wanted to do more, but you know, randoms didn't go my way. So overall, it's pretty much going to the heavy side, going hull down, and then using your depression, gun, and armor as a combination. So you don't want to be using your speed at all, because it is going to be a big pain in the bum. And now in terms of the game, as you can see, it's already a 4v4. Our teammates are going to get pretty much wrecked in a second. Quick spoiler alert, as it always happens. And of course, there's a Death Star in the enemy team. Death Stars, I hate you. And people who play Death Stars for fun, I hate you too. Anyway, jokes out of the way. As you can see, it is a stalemate, and these are the only games that the E3 really excels on, as I stated previously, because you don't want any turbo games, because you firstly don't have enough DPM, and number two, you just can't fight enemies from different sides. The sides and the rear are super weak, and it is very hard to fight enemies on two fronts, and the armor is pretty much gone. You are a tank that can only face one enemy at a time. If there's two from two different angles, you're pretty much screwed, and your armor will really not save you, just because of the fact that the tracks are super weak on this tank. So overall, we already did 3,000. However, we're just waiting. We're waiting patiently. As you can see, the enemies are being spotted, and I am scared of the Vickers. I know that the Vickers could come around, and I do make a you know, lucky shot here, as in I gamble. But to win, you always have to gamble, I guess. Here, I'm pretty sure the Vickers is going to come from my side, so I'm trying to get behind this wall. However, the Vickers spots me before and gives me a nice shot into the side. Of course, then I'm going to wait for the Vickers, because I don't want him to torment me from the bum. And he is a one-shot, at least, if my alpha goes through. And I decide to smash that you know, speed boost and go after him. Again, here I gamble. I think he's gonna come from this side, so I'm just gonna gamble here. It's a 50-50, and as you can see, I spot him, and I kill him before he has time to realize that this bunker is coming for him. Yeeted. So now, of course, there's two enemy tanks, and they're all focused on the WZ, so my chance is to kill the Foch while he is killing our poor WZ. Here, I don't want to overpeak, guys. As you can see, if I do overpeak, the Death Star will be able to kill me, so I'm going to stay here. Of course, the Death Star's mistake was he didn't push out and kill the WZ. Then they would have had a chance to murder me, because the Foch has a decent gun, at least in terms of a reload time. And here he dies, and the Death Star is pretty much alone. As you can see, he was trying to focus me. He thought I would peek out the bush, but no, I won't. And from here, we pretty much kill the Death Star. It is an easy clap. So that was the game, guys. 6k plus. And that's how the E3 guide comes to an end. So if you enjoyed it, guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Happy is out. Bye-bye.